G'day guys, Justin here. Sorry about the late video, but I'm here with my player of the day for October 23rd, 2017. Obviously some great games played today. Carl Anthony Towns had a good game. Andrew Wiggins had a good game. And obviously Giannis with a great game. Ben Simmons with his first triple-double. And Joel Embiid with 30 points, 9 rebounds. But my player of the day, albeit somewhat controversial, is John Collins for the Atlanta Hawks. Collins had a good day here, particularly for someone who only played 18 minutes. This is where I'll get to that towards the end of the video. I'm going to update the way I judge my players of the day, particularly minutes-wise. He had a good game for someone who only played 18 minutes. He had 14 points, 11 rebounds, 4 offensive, so not too bad. Nothing spectacular nonetheless. 2 assists, no steals and a block. Shot 54.5% from the field, 100% from the stripe. Only had the 2 fouls with no turnovers in 18 minutes. So quite an efficient night there. His per 36 on the game obviously would have been pretty impressive when you look at it like that. So what's that? About 28 points, 22 rebounds with 8 offensive. You probably would have assessed him at 4 assists. He might have even got an extra steal in there. It depends. I would have said no. And 2 blocks. So he's per 36 there, looking impressive. But nonetheless, 18 minutes, had quite a good game. Something I do want to reiterate, though, as I mentioned just before, I am going to be editing the way I judge my players of the day. And I'm going to bring in to a factor of minutes. Obviously, John only playing 18 minutes didn't serve as great a purpose as obviously someone like a Giannis who played a hell of a lot more minutes. I think Giannis averaged near 39 minutes a game over the past week. Just a hint there for my player of the week. But to only play 80 minutes and get that was quite impressive. I'm going to bring the minutes per game in just so I can really bring the factor of it. And I'm thinking what I'll do is rather than divide, say, 18 over 240, because that's a minuscule effect, I'll bring it in by percentage of game time played. So in a 48-minute game, 18 divided by 48. It's probably the best way to do it because if you go on team total, it really doesn't match out, in my opinion. So really, he played, 37.5% of game time here. Pretty impressive still if you want to take into account that. Again, as I mentioned, 14 points, 11 rebounds, 4 of those offensive, 2 assists, no steal and a block, 54.5% shooting, 100% from the stripe. Only the 2 fouls and no turnovers, so probably a little efficient there when you look at it defensively. As I move into his statistical breakdown, he began with an offensive rebound over Mickey for the Heat, but that was blocked on the putback. Mickey played some very good defense here on Collins. He was physical in letting him drive, but really showed some restraint to him. And on the offensive rebound of the miss, he blocked it. Then there was an offensive rebound by Collins again. So 2 offensive rebounds in the one play and then hit the layup. So 2 points, 2 rebounds. It wasn't too bad, particularly offensively. Obviously hitting the layup. He then had a pick and roll off of Tyler Johnson for the layup over Johnson and Kelly Olynyk. And he had a good pass there from Taylor. So some good pick and roll action. It's good to see these bigs actually working the pick and roll situation very comfortably with their point guards starting earlier this season. He then had a give-and-go pass from Kemp Gazemore and dunked all over Dion Waiters. Dion just tried to get out of the way. Wasn't noted in the top 10. It wasn't a big dunk, but it was substantial enough where you looked at it and, basically jumped over Dion Waiters. It was quite impressive. He's fouled on the shot by Johnson and made both free throws following that. We then had a pick-and-roll situation off of Dion Waiters again to where he ended up making jam. He was wide open for this, and that was off a pass of Prince. Young Prince there playing for the Hawks. He hasn't been playing too bad either. I feel Collins, just quickly while we note that, has potential to be within the at least top 3, in my opinion, for Rookie of the Year. I don't think you can win it. I think Ben Simmons is going to wrap that up. We are only early, though, so injuries could tell you a different story. But, 14 and 11 in 18 minutes is real Rookie of the Year potential, and good potential here for a promising career. Anyway, obviously the pick and roll off Waiters following the jam with a good pass there from Prince. He fed well off his guards in this game. He then made a layup on the assist from Bazemore, nothing too special there, and then managed an offensive rebound off of a Bazemore miss for a putback layup. So a pretty well-rounded game for the 18 minutes he was in. It was quite good to see him dominating for the time he was in the game. I do have to stress, though, it was only 18 minutes. And this is where I wanted to bring up the factor of reassessing my players of the week from here on in. So from the 24th onwards, my players will be assessed differently. As you know, I am doing say if you scored 10 points out of the team's 100, that's 10% of the impact. If you have two of the team's 10 turnovers, then that's a minus 20. I'm going to bring in the minutes now. I haven't been doing minutes, but then I realised that on a game like today, where even though he had a good game over 18 minutes and really was pretty effective for the time he was on the court, there were other players who had bigger impacts on the game who played longer. So I do have to start bringing minutes into account. That's, again, as I said, it's trial and error, and we can work that out. So all the players that I've had so far, for my player of the day, they won't go with an asterisk. They will just be they were simply graded differently. So obviously, I gave Collins a 0.250. So he was 25% of the total impact for that team, which is quite impressive for a guy who only played 18 minutes. So really played half of what a starter would and still had just as good an impact of anyone on the floor in that entire game, really. So shout out to John Collins there. As I mentioned, player of the day for the 23rd of October 2017, John Collins of the Atlanta Hawks, and a loss to the Heat. 14 points, 11 rebounds, 4 of those being offensive, 2 assists, no steals and a block, 54.5% from the field, 100% from the stripe, no threes attempted. Only the 2 fouls and no turnovers in 18 minutes of play. A potential Rookie of the Year candidate here, and certainly a promising start for the Atlanta Hawks and their rookie campaign here. Let's just hope that he can grow a little bit more and develop a little quicker. Anyway, guys, that's been my player of the day for the 23rd of October. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, check out my channel, leave a comment how you feel maybe the minutes will affect my player of the day, where we will see a variety of players coming in rather than just a big man at the moment. Obviously, the only player that hasn't been a big man has been LeBron James, and I mean, he still 6'8". So what's that tell you? Anyway, guys, that'll do me. Thanks very much for watching the video. Hit that like and subscribe. Check me out on Twitter, Justin_G_Bryan, and I will be back with you very shortly for my NBA Player of the Week for October 17th to 23rd, 2017.